Hi, my name is Sarah Kim.
Hi, my name is Helena Lee.
Hi, my name is Samantha Stenzer.
Hi, I'm Spencer Rodden.
So one thing that I find super interesting about Korea is exactly how safe it is here. So I've noticed that women walk around alone at night, which is something you would never find in the United States. If you're in a cafe or a restaurant, people will leave their backpacks, their laptops, their cell phones, their wallets on tables and leave and get up and go to the bathroom without any fear that it'll get stolen. The first time I really noticed this, however, was when I went to my first music festival here in Seoul, Waterbomb, and I was leaving the subway stop, and I noticed that hundreds of people were leaving their backpacks, like just out on the subway as they were exiting the stairs without any concern that it would maybe be stolen or gone like when they come back, because they knew and they could trust everyone here and that it would still be there when they came back. And I think that that is something that if I could bring anything home from Korea, I would bring that safety back, because that is insane to me and such a foreign concept. Even now, like I still feel slightly uncomfortable leaving my laptop in a cafe, but I still do it because I know that nobody is going to take it, and that's just how safe this country is.
Yeah.
So Florida doesn't have an underground metro system. So it was my first time really experiencing it, but I've heard like in New York, like it gets very disorganized at times. And I noticed here, it's extremely efficient. So especially like the escalators, when you stand on the right side, or if you're trying to go up and you go to the left side. Also when you're lining up for whichever platform you're on, there are single file lines. I was so surprised by that.
You will never find a single file line on the subway in the United States, never.
In the United States, period. And it was absolutely so cool. So then everybody's able to exit out of the subway. So that process was just really smooth in my opinion.
Yeah, just adding on to that, having been on the metro systems, and I feel like more of the metropolitan cities in the United States, like New York, Boston, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, the metro system here is just incomparable, whether it be like cleanliness or consistency. Like metros come in and out so often, I feel like opposed to the schedule in the States where it's like a metro comes like every 15 minutes or every 20 minutes, but here it's just more reliable and fast.
Yeah, I think that this, I guess, like culture of accountability and like responsibility that people have, like let's say for example like in the metro, is also like manifested in other parts in South Korea. For example, if you go to a restaurant, I'd say most of the things that is typically done by a server in the States is self-serve. For example, like almost every table has like a little drawer on the side where you can get like spoons, chopsticks, napkins, and all those kinds of things. And water is also self-serve, and so you don't like A, you don't have to wait for someone to get your water, but B, it's also like you kind of do that thing by yourself. And so I think I've like grown really familiar and like accustomed to this idea where like people just kind of like do the right thing, do their own thing, and I don't know, I really like that about South Korea.
Yeah. So I'll just start off with first impressions, I guess. I remember the first day going to the company with Sammy and Spencer. Sarah wasn't here yet, but we got off the bus and we saw Martin and Alicia welcoming us at the front of the building, and I was like, wow, we're finally here, because I remember meeting them on Zoom, and over Zoom I was like terrified. But going to the office, we had our first team meeting, kind of just introduced everyone, and everyone was just so warm and friendly. I remember that like we went to our first day of lunch together, and it was like kind of breaking the ice, but because we get lunch like every single day, I feel like I really gotten to know everyone. But overall, this company is just filled with amazing people that are incredibly friendly, and I feel like I've been really able to adapt into this family and community, which is something that I was really looking forward to in an internship, and I think that that's literally the epitome of useB, a family, a community, so it's great.
Yeah, I remember as Helena mentioned that I did come a little bit later, and so I was a bit worried about being like acclimated to the people here. Like luckily I am like Korean, like my parents speak Korean, so I've been like able to have like some easier communication, but you know, surprise, surprise, they don't speak Korean. And so despite that barrier, like everyone here has been like very helpful and like supportive with like mentorship and any questions that we might have about a project, and any chance that like someone here has like the time to talk to us, they'll try to speak English with us. And so it's been like very easy to kind of like convey what we want to know about the company and like what we want to know about certain topics. And so personally, I can see that everyone's like really busy here, but I've been really comfortable like being able to ask questions and just want to learn more things about the company. So everyone's just been very like comfortable in that sense.
Everybody was very friendly and warm when we first came here, and actually throughout the time as well, we're very accommodating too. So I actually got a little sick when I first came, and I was able to work remotely, fortunately, still able to work, but every day our department lead checked in on me to see how I was doing. So there was that emphasis on like health and how I was doing. And I think I speak for everybody when we were made to feel like a family.
I think I was really surprised by, I guess, like the physical layout of where we work, because I fully understand the hype and craze about like working in a tech company or like a startup. I think that everything here is like so flexible, and just the timing and the physical space that we're in just allows for more creativity, and it just makes you more comfortable and like motivated to work. So I remember when I transferred in, I was actually like very excited to wake up and like come to a building where I was comfortable, and there were like so many amenities available to me, and just like people here that are like willing to welcome me and teach me. For example, in South Korea, there's a lot of businesses that cater towards like office spaces and like lend equipment to them. For example, we have like water, coffee machines, like refrigerators with like refilled drinks, and like all of this is provided by like a third party. And one thing that's like particularly stood out to me, at least, is that in our lounge space, like we have a company where we rent a massage chair like every month. And so we just have a massage chair available to us. And I think that being in this kind of like a physical space, it makes you want to come to work, and it makes you want to like do well for this company. So I found myself always like putting in like 110% for like my assignments and projects.
I would agree with this, and also something about the physical space that stood out to me is in America, I feel like there's a lot of cubicles, so it's like separate individual workspaces, whereas here the layout is very open, so it's just a bunch of flexible desks all in one big open area, so it's very easy access to your coworkers. So the four of us sit across from each other, so I could easily just spin my chair around, look at Spencer and be like, hey, I have a question, or like, let's work together on a project. And just the way the desks are set up, it makes it so easy to work collaboratively. And also, if I ever have a question for like my supervisor, or even for Martin, like I can easily go up to either of their desks and be like, hi, like I just have a quick question, and they're more than happy to answer. But I don't have to like knock on an office door or feel awkward trying to find a time to go and see them, because they're just right down the road from me, like they're 2 desks away.
I want to second both what Sammy and Sarah just said. Also, another thing is how accessible everyone is. Like, there aren't many opportunities where you get to work with the CEO of a company or talk to the CTO of a company. And I think that I just found out this very recently, but a couple weeks ago, I was talking to Alicia, and she was like, oh yeah, these are the 3 co-founders. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the same room as the co-founders? I'm like, what? I have no idea. So just like, it's great to see everyone, this very open space where you get to like communicate with everyone. I feel like I'm repeating exactly what they said, but I just want to emphasize how amazing that is, and how I feel like valuable that is, especially in the workplace. Just being able to work with everyone, communicate with everyone. And another thing is like, this office is incredibly nice. Like, we have so many amazing amenities, and we love working in the lounge.
The view is so pretty.
amazing.
It's my favorite just to sit. They have like picnic style benches where you can sit and work with each other. But when you look out the window, it's just a gorgeous view of the city. And I personally love cities, so I like just like typing, looking up, and just smiling because of how pretty it is.
I want to add on to what both of you said, Helena and Sammy, is that whenever you're addressing somebody, because those barriers are broken down, there's no walls between us. We use people's names here. I've worked jobs where you use the titles, but those are reserved for clients, but we use those to address people here. So it really brings that friendly, familial aspect here.
Yeah, it makes you feel more like a family and less like a strict kind of atmosphere.
With regards to the work that we've been assigned here, I've actually been surprised, because it feels like we're really contributing to like the growth of this company, which isn't something you'd really expect, like the kind of responsibility to be given to interns. So a few of the tasks that we've been given is like creating like market analyses and reports, and building like competitor profiles and looking for clients, and then translating like educational and marketing material to be used abroad. And so given that responsibility, I think that we've all like been excited to put that kind of work into the company. Personally, one of my favorite projects that I've worked on at this company is probably building like a global expansion like client acquisition report. And so I've been looking into specifically different like entertainment companies that want to partner with NFT and crypto companies that are here in South Korea. And because useB is kind of like a key player in that, where they offer like regulatory services for the South Korean government with these like cryptocurrency and like fintech companies, it's like interesting to see like that kind of ecosystem and the collaboration between these different players, and all around it's been a very educational project for me.
So my favorite project that I've worked on is kind of like a partner project to this one, where I was researching the cryptocurrency travel rule. And so I actually researched and created a report and analysis on 9 out of the 16 countries / areas that currently enforce the travel rule. And it's my favorite project because I think it's super interesting how something that's so new doesn't have a lot of government regulation right now. And so I've really enjoyed getting to learn how different countries like South Korea, Japan, the United States are all tackling cryptocurrency regulation in slightly different ways, requiring different information or having different minimum amounts that require this like personal information. And so I've really enjoyed getting to learn about, like I said, the different governments and their regulations that they currently have on the cryptocurrency market.
So early on, I have some knowledge on the fintech industry, but not the regulatory. And I think we all really picked up a whole lot of research and information doing that.
Definitely.
So when we created PowerPoint presentations and slides, that was a really cool part.
Yeah.
I think my favorite project was when we collaborated on the Excel sheet for the pricing guide for clients. And I liked how we included the fact that depending on how many clients are onboarding or features that they're going to use, it automatically changes.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if you take, 2 months ago, when we just came to the company versus like now, all those like terms like EKYC, like we had to search what is EKYC?
Yeah.
What is like RegTech? And now it's just like
CDD,
they're so familiar. I was like, what is that? But now it's like those are very familiar terminology.
No, definitely I've learned way more than I ever thought I would learn in my time here. Like, I did not know much about fintech or regtech coming into this internship, and now I would not say I'm anywhere near an expert, but I definitely know the basic terms that I would need to like get along in a conversation with somebody, and I could easily just like be reading an article now and actually understand every term and not have to Google, like she said, like what is EKYC? Like no, like I know what that is, and that just makes me feel really proud of myself and how far that I've come throughout this internship.
Yeah. I think that the company's transparency with like offering us help and like answering any questions that we've had, it's not only just like in the context of like fintech and regtech, but also in the context of like what it takes to run a business in Korea and what like a startup culture is like in Korea. So all around very educational.
I think that also speaking with Martin about his, he reads a lot of like business books, and having the opportunity to really talk with him about what he's reading and kind of his goals for useB as a whole is really not only like inspiring but also like educational in a sense. Like I'm definitely learning a lot from him, and like he's so motivated, and just to watch him try to like better himself and like gain more knowledge in order to make this company the best that it is truly inspiring. Like I hope to have that kind of motivation one day. It is insane.
Martin's great.
He is great.
Like whenever you ask them, oh, what'd you do this weekend? We're out and having fun, but they're like, oh, we made some new plans for useB. Like
Reading this great book, like
how I can be a better leader, and
it's
I'm like, that is
insane.
very
Also, when we first
inspiring.
came to Monday meetings as well, with questions as well with the quizzes.
Yeah.
It's great.
And I don't know about you guys, but now that I'm looking for my next internship in this fall, especially in like the LA area, in my the filters, there are so many like fintech startups, just like services that are all like very, very similar, like all in this realm. So I just feel like moving forward, even with this information that we learn, like it's really, really applicable to like modern day, like the startup field, if that makes sense. So I think that's
agree.
pretty nice. Yeah.